What's happening, y'all? So I decided to take a look at that Robert Easter versus Denis Shafikov fight that took place yesterday in Toledo, Ohio. Now, first thing first, I have to say this is a damn good fight. It was a very good fight, very close fight, back and forth. A lot of close rounds. It could have been scored either way. I gave this fight to Shafikov because I felt that he did a very good job of closing the gap against Easter. He literally didn't give him no punching room to get off his shots, because Robert Easter likes to really fight from a distance, and he was, there was sometimes in the fight that he was winning the exchanges in the inside, and even though Easter did put up a pretty good fight in the inside as well, but I felt that Shafikov was winning most of those exchanges. So I felt that's why I gave it to Shafikov. It was 7 rounds to 5 in my opinion. But the one thing I have to say about this is that if you really thought that Robert Easter won this fight, cool. I got no problem with that. And I like Robert Easter. I really do. I like Robert Easter. I admire him a lot. I really admire what he does. Okay, but to honestly, if you really think that he won that fight based off how the judges scored it, 2 judges scored it 120 to 108. You mean to tell me that Robert Easter won every round of that fight? If you really believe that, then come on, man. You're not being objective. Real talk. Ain't no way in the hell that he won that fight by that wide of a margin. No way. Because let me tell you why. Because Robert Easter himself knew that he could have, he knew himself. Well, he knew himself that he was in a very close fight, number one. Number two, Robert Easter came out and admitted that he didn't perform it the way he felt that he should have performed. Okay, so ain't no way in hell he won that fight by that wide of a margin. The only logical score that was placed, one of the judges scored it 116 to 112. Even though I felt that was a bit too wide, but that seemed a little bit more reasonable than fucking 120 to 108. Ain't no way in hell, man. I'm sorry, man. That was definitely some home cooking going on right there. That to me shows that those judges who scored that 120 to 108, they had no intentions of giving Shafikov not one round that fight. They pretty much, like Paulie Malignaggi, would crack a joke. I remember when he was sitting at ringside commentating against when he was ringside commentating with Canelo versus Trout. I think they got access to one of the scorecards before the fight was concluded. Canelo was up by a way high margin, and Paulie Malignaggi had commented by saying that, you know what, if that judge really believes that Canelo is winning all those rounds going into the 10th round, then he might as well take a bathroom break and just call it a day, because apparently I felt that's what was going on. I think these judges was taking a ring break, bathroom breaks or lunch breaks, whatever it was. Their whole intentions was just give that fight to Easter, no matter what the outcome was. Well, if the fight was going to go to a distance, they're going to score that fight for Easter no matter what. And to me, those 2 judges, man, they need to be ashamed of themselves the way they scored that fight. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I felt that Shafikov won that fight, and I could see how Easter won the fight as well. But my thing is that it's no way in hell he won it by that wide of a margin. No way. No way. And I really feel bad for Shafikov, because the way, his facial expression, and he felt that, the disappointment that you could see in his face when the scorecards was announced. I mean, come on, Shafikov had a very tough career, all right? This guy has battled, he's been in many tough fights, he's a caging veteran, he's never been stopped in his career, but, just to do that to him like that, I felt that was wrong, in my opinion. Again, it was, I felt it was a close fight. It could have gone either way. I could see how Robert Easter won the fight. I could see how Shafikov won the fight. I gave this fight to Shafikov based off the fact that he was able to take away Easter's best weapons. But needless to say, dude, this is just a sham, the way this fight was scored. It's a sham. Now, does this warrant a rematch? Absolutely. But I don't know if this was a mandatory defense that was ordered by the IBF. It was Shafikov for mandatory challenger. Please let me know, because if he was, then that means there's no rematch clauses involved. Unless the IBF can order it and say, you know what, based off that scoring, there's no way in hell you guys can score it that wide. Unless this type of controversy allows the IBF to go ahead and order an immediate rematch. But if this was a voluntary defense, then Robert Easter, the ball's in his court. Now he has to decide whether he wants to grant Shafikov a rematch or not. So if this was a voluntary defense on Easter, then I think he needs to give Shafikov a rematch. Give him a rematch. So yeah, all I gotta say is that I do not agree with that score whatsoever by those other two judges. Now, the third one, like I said, that was a reasonable score to some degree, but I still don't believe it was that wide of a margin for Easter. I don't think he won no more than 7 rounds in this fight. Well, to me, like I said, if you believe that he won the fight, let me take that back. If you believe that Easter won that fight, cool. But you cannot tell me that he won more than 8 rounds of that fight. No way in hell that he won no more than 8 rounds. And ain't certainly no way in hell that he won all 12 rounds. No way. So, yeah, let me know what your thoughts about this. And do you agree on my assessment on this fight, or do you disagree? If you do disagree, please keep it respectful in the comment section. That's all I have to say. I'm out.